because you see the video of the Usher concerts.
With the cherries.
Yeah, but also this girl, apparently, this woman, her husband leave her because she had this moment with Usher in the UK.
Yeah. What happened?
They didn't kiss. It wasn't even a cherry moment.
Wasn't a cherry?
There's a video now with him and a woman, like, they having this intense moment, just looking at each other, and he asking her, what you want me to do? And she's like, whatever you want to do. And they just having this moment of talking and looking at each other, and he writes him and she right there. And da-da-da-da. And then after, like, apparently now her husband leave her.
Boy. I mean, it's Usher, but at the same time, if we really look at it, devil's advocate or whatever, I don't feel comfortable with my man feeling so comfortable. It don't matter who it is. It could be Rihanna. It could be Beyonce. Respect me. You gotta go.
So what's going on, guys?
So what?
It's me, Haiti Leone.
And it's your girl, Jojo Renee. We did the same thing last episode.
What we do?
It's me, Haiti Leone. It's like, okay, cool. Take it. Sorry, my brain is going all over the place. I blame the vegan gummies.
But what do you mean?
As in, when we pull up, it's like, it's a different tone sometimes. And last time,
This was the same tone?
Ish. And then I just go off of your tone.
Okay.
Maybe we should do like different tones every episode. That would be our, how we used to use the languages
Numbers.
for the...
Okay.
Sorry, that was a tangent.
Accents.
Let's hear it. I'm ready.
How you say your name in the accent? Which accent should I do?
Mexican?
Yeah.
Hesse. It's Haiti.
No, Hesse.
Hesse.
Okay, it's very good. No.
We can
so
get
what's going on, guys?
What it do? What's up?
It's me, Haiti Leone.
And it's your girl, Dr. Renee. You're tuned in to episode 57.
Hey.
Hoppa! I feel like I got break a plate,
That's what I do.
make a pizza. I feel like we was a bunch of... I felt New Jersey. I felt Italian.
Yeah, I felt like I was from Boston.
Boston. But anyways, guys, welcome to episode 57. We have arrived. We almost reaching the 60s. Can y'all freaking believe it? And Kristen told us today this is the 40th episode that we've been filming with you, right?
Wow.
God, look at that, Kristen.
We officially been with you longer than in my house.
Facts.
Well,
Longer,
times-
times two,
basically.
essentially.
And change.
And it's been lit. It's been so lit. But how have you been? I know you just came off of camping and shit. Talk to me.
I was really exhausted. I had to ask for time off, and they gave it to me.
As
They
they
know
should.
they overworked me, so I was well rested now. But I was checking my standing time. I stand 17 hours Monday,
Jesus Christ.
16 on Tuesday, and 15. Like, it was hour less every
Your
day.
watch probably was bigging you up. You
And then-
did it. Goal reached.
And yesterday was also like 12, because I was up and down doing Starship Bazooka. So yeah, I catching myself today. I really needed today.
At least we know you're
catch
going to live
myself.
long.
What I mean,
Because
why?
they say sitting could kill you quicker than cigarettes. Yeah.
Really?
If you sit too much, when you're just immobile, your body gets complacent and you start to like digress just your body.
I be standing.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, when I just invade, I know management not gonna watch this. When I just invade my sister's office, they have the tables where you could press the
I
button
have
and
that
it goes
too.
up. And sometimes I stand up and I'm like, this seems like it's so much better
It
for
is
me.
better because sometimes we have them now 2 years, but also when I have it higher when I sit in too, so that like I'm not like
Yeah.
couching, so then I have it like
Your
here.
posture.
Yes, but I love those tables.
Yeah, they make sense. I just never
Desks.
experienced it until my sister office.
It's really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm happy you're
Other
alive.
than that, I
Embrace.
good. I have vacation. By the time it's coming out, I'll be in the vacation.
Okay.
But I need that time. Like, I like vacations where, you're the traveler and you're the vacationer.
Yes.
I like also if you don't go nowhere and do nothing.
That's why you can't have a traveler and a vacationer on the same trip. unless they're very individual. Whereas like, okay, cool, I gonna do my vacation and thingies. You go take a nap.
Traveling. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that.
But I think you're going on a trip. But I also like the vacations where I just home. I could like get time to just catch up with
Exactly.
life. Like,
I feel like sometimes it depends on where you go. 'Cause if you go home, hello, I'm going home. Let me relax. But if I go somewhere new, I'm a traveler, heavy. Like how I gonna book the tours. We waking up
I get that.
Yeah.
So it depends where though. Like if I go to cities, I'm a traveler.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But if I go into somewhere like tropical and stuff like that,
You're a vacationer.
I
That
kind of
makes
a
sense.
mix, but I would more vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me now, with Ghana, I'm a vacationer. However,
you've
a
seen it.
vacation worker. Because the first week is vacation, next week is work, but I'm done being a travel. I've traveled, like I've seen. I would like to go to the different cities, but that's the next trip.
Okay. Okay. How you been?
I've been good. You ready for the updates?
Yeah. I should have stories.
Okay, so for everybody and for you, the father cat is gone. I sold him. He's gone. He got picked
You
up yesterday.
sold him?
I sold him.
To who?
A really,
Marktplaats?
really nice. No, actually. So I put him on Marktplaats. I even put him as a dag topper. Paid 100, not 100, €1.68. Somebody was interested, but then they wasn't. And I had him up for just €20 because I was like, I put in the description they need to have a town. If you don't a garden, if they don't have a garden. So I also asked one of the friends that I gave one of the kittens to, and she asked around, and this sweet Portuguese woman came to pick him up last night, and he loves her. He was pet, and I was so happy because I love that cat. Like I didn't want him to leave, but not only does he attack the other cats, his owners disown him,
It's time
so
for him
I
to
feed
go,
him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
like,
this is like the third episode. Are you getting an update on these cats?
I know. I feel like I needed to update them. And one thing, it will never stop. Like if
Yeah.
something else happened to my cat, are you going no?
But you should be invested now.
You should be you should know the names when I ask you. But yeah, so he dip out.
gone.
He gone, and he's gone to a good place. That sounds like he dead. But the funny thing is, she messaged me today that she lose him, but she find him again.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's so funny because while I was talking to Kristen, she find him, and this morning she messaged me that he went outside and she can't find him.
but
From
she had a
9.
yard. Yeah.
Yeah, but I told her like at least leave
outside.
him in for a week. He need to know
Yeah.
where he sleeps.
Yeah.
Then you can let them outside. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they're gonna dip out. But yeah, and then other than that, good. Prepared for when this come out. I in Ghana. Visa, getting your visa. One thing I will tell people who planning to go to any country in Africa, because most countries need a visa. It's gonna be a bit chaotic, and that's a reflection of how the country is in itself. Like when I went to Ghana, it's like the Caribbean to a level where you can't really depend on things to work smoothly. But yeah, so I went to go deliver my documents for my visa on Monday. They said it would take 7 days. Yesterday, they said, oh, we received your documents. Mind you, I went on Monday to take them. Your visa will be dispatched on the 17th, not the 17th, the 21st of April. I leave the 17th. They know I leave the 17th because in your visa, you have to put your travel itinerary. So why are you like playing with me? So I kind of trip out, kind of like... But then I told Kristen I was on like a little walk. I listened to my frequency music and I was like, I'm so grateful to be at Schiphol with my passport and my visa, going to Ghana, like trying to calm myself down. This morning I marched into the embassy and I was like, the same woman who was there Monday, I say, you remember me?
Where the embassy is?
In Den Haag.
Oh, you
It's
in
there
Den Haag?
where all the embassies are. And I was like, miss, I have a flight to catch on Thursday. I get the email that my visa coming on the 21st. That's 4 days after I supposed to leave. And then I told her, I said, if I need to pay for that expedited, give me the pin machine because I want to catch my flight. And she was like, look, I'll give you this card, go in the waiting room. When they call you, ask for the status of your visa. I go to the waiting room, I wait, they call me. I say, yeah, I come for my visa. They tell me, wait a little bit. They give me my freaking visa. It was done.
It was already finished. Oh my
But
God,
that's
email
the
you.
thing. Sometimes I feel like they just like to eat your money because they check in. Like even the case of when I do standard, you have to have it mailed to you. I don't believe in mailing a passport. Like I don't feel comfortable. Why I can't pick it up? You right there. Let me just.
You can't pick it up?
No, you can only pick it up in expedited, which is €120, which is double standard.
'Cause he might not let me share his business, but I had did that for somebody in
Yeah.
my family. And I think somebody picked it up for them. But maybe that's because of who they was.
No, but also maybe it was a different embassy.
No, they went Ghana. But maybe because of who they was in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Yeah.
Gone. And it was expedited or standard?
Normal. Like
Oh.
you do it way in advance before you come.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I got my visa, so that's solved.
good.
But yeah, I've been good. Alive, bracing, but I have been good. Just very busy because I'm leaving just now. But I'm very excited to leave.
Vacation time, like that's people don't. I think people know, but like preparing for vacation in itself is work. Then it's like you go on the vacation, and then if you're the traveler, the vacationer. That why I just get overwhelmed if I'm a traveler, because it's like I just do all this work to be here, and now I gotta do things again.
But
I had one at Mallorca. I wanted to vacation.
Nah, I hear it. For me, I just want this to be a vacation, especially in the first week, because I just need a vacation. Because the last time I went, I was a traveler, and I didn't want to be the traveler.
I get
like
that.
I was a traveler against my will.
I get
but
that.
yeah.
But yeah, you went somewhere on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, we had a talk show, which was really cool because I feel like everything worked out so funny. So basically, there was a talk show on Wednesday for like the Dutch Caribbean islands, and the title was "Living in the Netherlands: Blessing or Curse." And it was so interesting to be there because we got to get the experiences. Don't get me wrong, I never heard so much Papimento in my life because it was mainly Aruba, Borneo, Curaçao. And we were like the only Saba, St. Martin. I was the only Saban, was new. St. Martin, there was two because it is.
Oh, and the other lady that shared her experience coming to the Netherlands, the lady in red. She's from St. Martin.
Oh!
Yeah, and she told her story in
yes,
Dutch.
with the whole being scammed and everything. Yes, she was lovely because she seemed like she overcame it from a place of she went through what she went through.
But let's finish the explanation for what is.
I high key probably got ADHD. But so yeah, basically you get to see a gist of like the older generation and then the younger generation. And as much as it was in Papimento, Kristen and I learned that cos is thing and gas is house. And it makes sense because in Spanish, cosa is thing, casa is house. Anyways,
Like
moving on. Turcos, say.
Yeah.
But we basically...
What I mean?
Like they like everything.
Turcos,
That
everything.
what I mean?
I guessing. I know.
Like I don't know.
For all the
That's what I
people who
thought,
speak
but I just think
Papimento, let us know what Turcos means. Cause we know we got some Papimento in the comments.
Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, we got to tell our story. They asked a bunch of people if it was a blessing or a curse. One woman said, "I don't know blessings, I don't know curse." I was like, "You go." She said it in Papimento. But a lot of people kind of just told their story from what they experienced. And it was very, I wouldn't say it was similar, but you have repeating patterns. Like you have the discrimination, you have the Dutch not taking you serious. You also have being told, oh, it's best if you just go back. Whereas like, yeah, you in a shit right now, so you might as well go back home. But I noticed that amongst the older generation more, the whole going back home thing. I feel like for the younger generation, the complaints were more so fitting in or like having a community. At least I also mentioned that. What else did they mention? Because Faisal mentioned something along the lines of when he was in school, the separation between like the Dutch and the foreigners. I also mentioned that. And Chantal mentioned, I forgot.
Well, on the students. Sorry, I had to put my mic back on. So on the student side, students, ex-students, the younger generation that they were asking questions for, at least what I noticed is the difference in like privileges. Because I feel, or what I notice is that the younger generations are always going to be more privileged moving here.
Yeah.
Simply because, like you mentioned, with the older generation, they encountered a lot of like discriminatory kind of situations, especially since they moved here in like the 90s or even earlier. And in those times, you could say that the world was not as open as it is now.
Yeah.
So that's why I say in that sense, like coming up here, the younger generation would have it easier in a sense.
Yeah,
where that is concerned. And then there were some mentions from the students that are, they would have, if they're from Curacao or any of the ABC islands, that they didn't know that they could do a university studying English.
Yep.
They didn't know that. So
For
they,
like high qualifying roles,
For
so like
high
a
qualifying roles.
psychiatrist,
Yeah.
law, and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah. So, and in that sense, it's a bit difficult because, you're in a class with all Dutch, and then it's very high level. Speaking of Dutch, not to say that people can't speak high level from the Caribbean, but in the sense that if you naturally express yourself easier in English, it's a different
100%.
experience. And then we also saw Edith, who's also from St. Martin, Edith Hackens, who was in Teen Times with me.
And I remember her from Teen Times.
Yeah.
When I saw Edith, I was like, I know you from somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Teen Times.
How used to have a carnival troupe? That's why I know.
She also mentioned that.
She spoke about that.
Yeah, I wasn't that carnival troupe.
Yeah. And she was assisting the head anthropologist with by the way, clarification. It's like a talk show, but it was more of an event where they brought people together to be able to collect all of these stories. It was being recorded and possibly used for a documentary later on.
And for research.
Of like the experiences of Dutch Caribbean.
Yep.
But to get back, and we had a nice lunch. We had I don't know what kind of fungi. It was like a fungi made with white peas.
Yeah, it was literally like fungi made with white peas.
I never had it before.
For also the ABC Island people, what is that? It's like, it look a bit brown. And
we'll insert the photo here.
Yeah, it was so good, and with saltfish, and plantain, and I ate raw paprika. You would be so proud. You would be so proud. But like, all in all, their main aim was to really find out, okay, do people see moving to the Netherlands or living in the Netherlands as a blessing or a curse? And a lot of common answers were along the lines of, it started out as a curse and then it became a blessing. And I think a lot of us as students too kind of felt that way of like, yeah, you will always along the line find curses, and sometimes your curse could be like, for me, I mentioned from Saba, they just speak English. I admire that the ABC Islands, they speak Papimento, Dutch, and English. So they kind of are exposed to already a multilingual culture, whereas we speak English and then we get taught Dutch as a foreign language. So we never really feel Dutch, even though we're part of the Dutch Caribbean.
Yeah.
But for you, if somebody had to flat out ask you, living in the Netherlands, a blessing or a curse?
I look at it like from a personal experience, but just the fact that we have to do it. So that is always be like the fact that we have to leave our family, our home country is the curse in itself. Because I feel like that's like colonialism, and just even the after effects of slavery as in itself a curse. So it's like, you already rip us from our mother country. Now we have this place for ourselves because we're lucky to say we have the Caribbean as our home after slavery. And then we don't get to stay there because the countries, all the islands in a place where it's like, it's taken a while for them to be able to function on them, like on their own. Some islands doing it, but some of us islands is struggling. And then it's like, but now we can't stay here because if we want to like even contribute to the country or just become a better person as a human, you have to leave that behind. Whereas like, I just think like if I grew up in America, if I grew up in, I don't know, even the UK or something, or sometimes even like a lot of islands, because I speaking specifically for like St. Martin.
Yeah.
We kind of grew up, but I specifically grew up knowing I had to leave someday. So to me, that is in itself a little curse. But then on a personal experience, I do like that I had the opportunity to like leave home and like, I don't know, live on this side of the world, meet people, the experiences. And that's the things I do find as a blessing. Yeah. But I do feel like it's something I have to live with. But if I had to choose, like let's say St. Martin was so developed that we could have a study, leave when we want, whatever, and still be with your family, I would have rather that be my life. If I had to, I don't know, because it's a bittersweet feeling. I always say that like, on John's interview, somebody was like, he messaged me, he was like, I could see the pain in your eyes when you talk about home. I was like, what? He was like, how you speak about it. But he was trying to say that like, I don't think you should come back. He lived there. And he was just like, I could see the pain in your eyes that like, the fact that is that you is stuck. I just sometimes feel like you're stuck in between like this weird space of not knowing what to do. And I just genuinely feel that. And that's why to me, it's a shitty feeling. But and I think that we wouldn't have to deal with this if we were from somewhere else. But in general, my experience, I don't know. I talk about it on the live show, like living and learning and stuff. Like I choose to go far, but that's because I know I needed to like develop discipline at that age. And that wasn't the best experience. But I do think my life up here was just, in a way, like fun. Like I really enjoyed my student time. I enjoyed like just the development of Haiti. So I feel like that in itself was a blessing. I don't know how that would have been if I had to stay home.
Yeah, I understand.
So I feel like that contributed to the person I am today and why I feel it as a blessing. But that's how I look at it. Other than that, I don't know.
I think it's cool though, because there's contrasting experiences. I feel like even for me, because we know with me, community wasn't a big thing. And I think knowing that I was leaving the island, I was the opposite. Like I was excited to leave, but mainly because for one, Sabre is smaller than SM. So you also have that case of like, you feel like this is as far as you could go with regards to just being a teenager. You've done it. You did high school. Now it's time to see the big fish or whatever.
I was excited to leave. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah. But like anticipating that for me was different because I felt like I could create a community where I didn't feel like I had community. And what I mentioned in the talk show was that coming here, it was even kind of hard to still kind of create that community and tie it back to home. Because I feel like knowing Sabre and then looking at what is supposed to be our sister islands and seeing that they speak Dutch and Papiamento, I never felt connected to, like I never really spoke to people from Bonaire or Aruba, mainly from St. Martin, to be honest. That was most of my friend group. But then I kind of created that community in different clusters, let's say. So I had like my Amsterdam community. I had my going out community, Wild. And I kind of formed a community within my school. Which consisted of Samaritan people, funnily enough. But for the just making the move to the Netherlands, for me, I don't know. I feel like it came with a lot of shit. Because like in the beginning, I said I got scammed out of 1,800 euros. And that's something I feel like a lot of students face.
I also get scammed. But that's another story I could say just now.
Just the whole thing of not knowing was NEP and all of that fun stuff. NEP is fake. For all the listeners, by the way, you fake if you ain't subscribed or like.
That's crazy.
Sorry, but if you listening, if you enjoying, subscribe please. Then it would make you real again. No, but I'm joking. But I actually wanted to say for all the listeners, sometimes we say Dutch words. So if y'all have funny words, understand that it's Dutch words. Because I notice I'm doing that more frequently. And I'm like,
you all been doing that since the beginning.
But you also been, I realized you also just translated one time.
Okay. Because I think one time I did it, I said muita and I didn't translate muita. That was, but for the people who don't know what muita is, it's like going through the effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was I saying?
Your community is...
Oh, yeah. So like you never really feel, at least for me, I just never felt a part of it. So for coming to the Netherlands, I was like, oh, cool. I could build something here. Oh no, scamming.
What's scamming?
Yeah, but we all kind of still face those challenges. Like even for me, coming from the school, I come from, I think you had CXC too. Did you have CXC?
I had CXC.
So we had CXC. And the thing with CXC is the examination for the Caribbean islands or whatever. They take long to get them results out. And when you apply for school, they want your results. And for me, I almost didn't get into the school I wanted to go into, like literally last minute. And I think that already adds a pressure as a student when you're already moving to a new country. So for me, that was hard to deal with. But I was saying that I just felt like I had to grow up quick. Like I was 17. So it was like I had to just, make all the mistakes quick and grow quickly because I did make a lot of mistakes. I got that little gift and I spent all of it. Yeah. Before school start.
I made a lot of mistakes, but I think, it does grow you up, but it depends on the character. Because I also feel like it grew me up, but I don't know if I was learning from them.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I say that, like, I know my younger self, they had no discipline. So it's like, yes, I make mistakes, but like the next month I do the same mistake.
Really?
Yeah, I make so many stupid, like even...
but in those mistakes, were you in shit positions? Because for me, I would end up in shit places where I'm like, I never want to feel this again. I ain't gonna lie, I made stupid mistakes.
Did I feel like I was in shit?
Did you cry?
I don't think I was, no.
Yeah, then it wasn't that bad of a mistake.
But also like, I'm gonna be very honest, I wasn't like the typical student that struggled in the beginning. I struggled more so like that phase between starting a job.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, basically. Like,
Yeah.
like finishing your study and like do a stop and like a job and you have an apartment and rent. That phase is when I start struggling. But like student time, I wasn't struggling because my mother was really there for me and my brother in that time. I also was in a relationship, so it's like sometimes we had each other to fall back on when they don't have it or I have it. So I wasn't struggling then, but I did get scammed because my first year.
Wait, side note, struggling, you mean financially or just in general?
Financially, I was talking about specifically.
Oh, okay.
What you was talking about?
Just in general, just from a place of, for me at least, I was struggling in the beginning with feeling like trash. Mainly because for one, I made mistakes, but stupid mistakes, not only from a financial aspect, but like from kind of who I meshed with and whatnot and the experiences I kind of got myself into.
I get that.
But also just from a place of having expectations and being disappointed and kind of not getting depressed, but like going into dips. Like that. So just on a general.
I get that. I had moments, but I do think I come here with a community because I had like my school friends, so like those ones are, you know, like Daniela them. And then I also had my Amsterdam clique. But then I also had my outside friends, which was like Maya them. So it's like I did come here with a community and I would just leave Groningen every weekend and go spend time with whichever community. Yeah. So I don't feel like I just had a lot of homesickness. Like I really had missed home. Makes sense. But I didn't, and if I had depression, which I think is the typical young adult depression of like, what I do in my life? Yeah. Like, should I do this study? Sometimes being alone. But that could just be a worldwide thing. I didn't link that to like the fact that I'm in a whole new country type thing, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I hear it. Yeah. But I feel I was saying something and I forgot.
Yes, scam.
Oh, yeah. So my first year I was in a S4 house. So S4, we used to pay our money to S4 and they used to pay rent and also gas, electricity, So I had a day, this man knocked on my door. And he was like, he explained some reason why the house needs to switch to this other energy company. And I was just like, oh. But I don't know why. You see, and that's why we don't understand a lot of things. Yeah. In my head, I was like, oh, like, then this is something I got to do. And he was just like, yeah. But I was like, you sure? Because I just pay my money to this. He was like, no, but he seemed so official, like he know. So I was just like, he was like, yes, I just need your bank account and so that we could start thinking. But I say, but I don't pay the electricity. As for this pay the electricity, he said, yeah, but we just need our account for now, something.
He just
basically when you don't know and you're a student. Anyway, month end come, then people charge me like 2 months of electricity and I can't remember what it was. It was like over 500 euros. And I was like, did not budget for this. Yeah. Because that was literally when I was already in Semat. I was on my way getting ready to go home because I had stopped my study. And I had to pay my regular rent. Yeah. So I called S4 and I tell them, they was like, that was a scam. Because we didn't agree to switch the electricity company. And it was an official company, no? But just how did us go about it to get you to switch from providers?
No, but it was creative.
Oh my gosh. So then, but I was stuck in that contract for like a year. So, and then I moved to my own apartment. Yeah. So I had to be paying that and my regular rent.
But they scam you. Couldn't you get out of it?
Yeah, at a certain point, like I think around December, I just start, you know how you could terugboek?
Yeah.
Terugboek.
But S4 didn't advise you to go to like police or something to get out of it?
No, but officially, to me, it's not officially a scam if like you sign the paper saying that you're going to pay the electricity for this house.
It's a scam in the sense that because they came for you to switch, they were supposed to contact whatever company S4 was already paying
or to stop you
switch, because that's normally how you switch.
Yeah.
But now as a company, wouldn't they get...
No, that's why a lot of these things are done via phone now. And you know when they call you, it's funny. I literally got one of those calls the other day and I'm like, I'm not the owner of the house. That's another tip, guys. If you ever get one of those calls, just so you don't own the house.
My boyfriend regels everything.
Well, literally,
I always say that.
Or that.
Yeah, but I like...
But like saying yes, just to finish that thought, saying
Yes, and sign in.
And sign in via phone is more of a confirmation. That's why when you say no, all of a sudden they'd be like, okay, and please stand by for like the rules of telemarketing, blah, blah, blah. They say really quickly, and then they hang up the phone, and then there's like a voice that comes on for you to confirm. I just hang up.
Yeah.
But that's also a way for them to kind of bypass that whole privacy thing.
Yeah,
or not
makes
bypass,
sense.
but to kind of confirm it. If they come to your house, there's no proof, really. If you never give your bank account, not even to the people asking for donations on the
no, we
road.
do
I
not
never
But I
give
wasn't
my
in the
bank
country a
account.
year yet.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
like, those are things I didn't even process.
But I had the same thing because the guy showed me the whole apartment. Because I got scammed
it was
for our apartment. And then I had to pay, 3 months borg and rent. And that came up to 1,800 euros. No, it came up to 1,700 euros. And the day I was supposed to get the keys, he never showed up. And my grandmother, she came with me. And she was like, this is a house of Woonstad. So Woonstad is an organization that has houses. She said, I'm going to call Woonstad and find out if this is their house. Woonstad said yes, and it is already rented. And it was, I ain't going to lie, guys, that first getting scammed, I bawl. 'Cause I was like, I gave him my passport. I gave him copies of my passport. He had a bank account and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. We went to the police one time. The police tell me to compile all the correspondence and any documents they would need. Literally the evening of that day, I compiled everything. And I had to have a meeting with them the next day. So they called me the next day and say, oh yeah, we're no longer able to help you on your case because he did not force you to send the money. So he did not hold a knife to you or in any way, force you to send the money. So they said, get a lawyer. That's where the scam of 1,800 came in because the lawyer was 142 euros. So the lawyer said, send me the bank account. Because my thing is the police could go to ING and check the account because you need a BSN to open up a bank account and check who owns the account and get me my money back. But yeah, they said that's not our problem. So the lawyer said they would try to do it. ING denied them and they were done. They didn't do anything else.
But like fraud ain't like a crime. Like you can't go to an extra mile to find out these kind of things. But I think that's legit scamming.
Yeah.
I think what I had wasn't scamming. It's just I didn't know.
It was manipulating.
Yeah.
But
also,
still.
if you're dealing with somebody that don't know how the country works,
Exactly. It's easy.
It's easy to get through those kind of things.
That's why I was saying, like, I'm pretty sure this is going to come out around the time that people are coming up here. So if you're like
be
a new
careful,
student,
guys.
like literally, if anybody come, because when you're a student, when you come from the islands, let's get that straight. When you come from the
That part.
islands, you're less likely to say no because you think that things, like you just said, you thought that's how things are supposed to run. So maybe you're not going to say no quickly because you think that's how things run here and it's not very clear.
But on top of that,
Yeah, the thing is that you're gonna encounter like a lot of people on the street trying to get your bank account basically for donations and stuff. And I always say, listen, we live in 2025.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not giving my bank account to anybody on the
you're
street.
crazy.
Don't do it.
But that on top of that, like especially for people from Saba, we don't speak the Dutch language like that. Especially like I ain't gonna lie, I told him I was privileged to have a mother from Suriname, but I still didn't have like such a good grasp when I move up here, and they take advantage of that. So that's one thing to take into account. Like when you come here and they see that you foreign, you are main target. That's already like, oh yeah, let me go for this person because they. So if you coming into something and say somebody offering something, try to find a way to put a pin in it, see if it's legit, and then proceed. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's part of the experience of being up here, I guess.
It is. I think it's part of the experience of life, as in like
Yeah.
a lot of people be getting scammed out here.
What's
I
an
guess
example of
for
a
Dreamland.
What's Dreamland?
That's like the soca party
Everybody gets scammed for
in
Dreamland.
UK. And it has, I remember it was the first year we was going and we didn't buy our tickets. And so I thought I had legit get tickets
Oh shit.
for all of us. And this
Oh,
man was just
no.
scam through PayPal. But yeah.
I remember that now. That's
You
rough.
remember
Yeah,
that?
because
Sorry.
I was drunk when you told me, but
But
I
then we
think I
still end up
remember.
getting last minute tickets.
That's good.
Somehow. Yeah.
Is that where you had meet what's her name? Christiana?
No, that was a years after. This is like 2
yeah.
years ago. That first time was before COVID, 2019.
The best, one of the best. Not
That
well,
it-
no.
you know, people
To-
I meet, just be like 2019 was their best Notting Hill Carnival experience.
Yeah, for me,
And they
for
not
me,
even from St. Martin.
2018 and 2019 top tier.
Yeah.
I think 2018 for me was the best because the shit we went with such a big group and the memories we have just from each section of us doing craziness is insane. One of the people, oh my God. So they lift up the girls. So one of the guys lift up the girls in the group, and they was there dancing, and we was all jumping around them in a circle, and it was so amazing.
It
Like
was Kristen face.
in the moment, it felt like it was going in slow motion.
Oh, I know the feeling. I can't
amazing.
bring that moment back. But I mean, random people I meet that is be like, if you ever went to the carnival, they just always be like, 2019 was the best year for them. I don't know why that year stick out for that people.
Because it was the last year that everybody went out. So people
Facts.
could think about it for a really long
But
time.
even if they went 2018, maybe 2019 more people came and it was just more vibe. I don't know. I wasn't there 2018 to know if it was more people.
Wait, the year 20. Also, wait. I'm trying to think.
The year
Oh,
when
the
you on
year
the bus stop.
Oh no, yeah, it was 2019. Never mind, I take it back. It was 2019. When is the year we all went together? Oh, 2022.
2022 is when I remember you last time.
Yeah, no, 2019. Sorry, that's the year. That
Yeah.
was the best year, hands down. 2018 it was raining. That wasn't great. Yeah, 2018 it was raining. So I
2019
understand.
was, I don't know.
Top tier. But
yeah,
yeah.
I was going to say though, like, oh God.
What?
Back to this conversation though, I think one of the things that is, and people might watch this and be like, why you don't say nothing? But I hate being around people. Okay, I'm not saying I hate the people, but I hate when people like dog the islands. Like, yeah, but I see Martin in a place for me to go back right now. You see all of this going on. Da, 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 da. I get it. I get that the island's struggling, but I feel like sometimes people don't even realize the shit that's going on up here either. And we really, like, when I just try to give my island grace, you know? And I know that, like, right now our only income is tourism and shit like that. But I was going to say within this conversation, I get that life up here might be a little better and structured, but I do still think sometimes we need to give the island some kind of grace.
No, 100%.
But it just being sometimes a lot of conversations where people just sit and be like, yeah, but da-da-da-da-da-da. And I get it is home and we want better. But I don't know, we're making a choice also to stay up here. So it's like, you don't
yeah, you know me and the whole staying up here and giving back, whereas like, okay, so in this conversation, I get where you're coming from because I feel like a lot of people like to just complain rather than take steps. I think I could understand some complaining because it's kind of just acknowledging. Like, I do say sometimes that there is a lot of small-minded approaches to things on Sabre, and that's true. And I do feel like a lot of the times locals really come for the foreigners because it's a case of like they feel like they're taking their stuff, whatever. But I say that from a place of that's the unfortunate case on the island right now. And I think for me, with my role in that is more so to see how I could, I don't know, contribute to a narrative of being semi-foreign and being a local and finding a way to be like, okay, cool, but we could all contribute to the island.
Yeah, but that to me is the solution. But I feel like a lot of people just come up here. And I'm not saying like you have to be some kind of patriotic citizen and like do everything you can for your country all the time, because that ain't for everybody. But I feel like some people just come up here and then like they don't feel like they need to do anything for the country. And I get that the country have its shit. Like we in unfortunate situations. Even going back to what I said earlier, where it's like it is a curse that like the island was left to kind of fund for itself after slavery, and then they just had to pick up and figure out how to run a whole island and like a whole government within the Dutch kingdom with no kind of assistance. Yes, financially you had some assistance from the Dutch, but you left people there after they just had to work on plantations to figure something out. And we still seeing the effects of that. And that is the case like right now in like even in Nigeria and shit. Like there's a country, but after slavery, they was kind of depleted same way like the Caribbean. So I just try to give places like that grace. But in that conversation, that I just don't see it beneficial to sit. We can have a conversation and talk about what's going wrong in the island. That should so be so.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, the tone within the conversation is just like, sometimes be like, does people hate home? Like, that is what I just get. But I was going to say though, sometimes we just have a hit and miss, because I've been seeing there was this thing where I think government had paid a lot of content creators to come to the island to kind of shoot. Content. There was like this whole conversation. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they pay all this money, but like naturally, and that's the thing with like online, like organically, a lot of tourists starting to come to the island and making content to the point where now like I scrolling and I just seeing like these random places I didn't even know the island had. And it's like, oh, so now I have a whole folder on TikTok Where it's
Of
like
places you ain't even know.
things, or just even restaurants.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, so I think I this now save
Yeah.
to my thing. And I don't even think that's part of the whole content creation people they had bring. I think that's
More it was a side effect of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, they also just had SXM Festival, so I think like they have a lot of content that was also made around that time because you bringing in people for like 5+ days,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and a lot of those people that do come are content creators.
But I think a lot of people I think the island is blowing up. I think I tell you, Queen and Clarence was there recently.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Black Americans. I don't know if they come in for those festivals per se.
They could be coming because of TikTok.
I think TikTok, St. Martin right now is one of those islands that pop in on TikTok. But it was like this whole conversation that they pay all this money for these content, but that didn't blow it up. I just think organically the island kind of blow up on TikTok. But it making me think on like this was the whole discussion of like what is good content and what's bad content, because people didn't like the content that the content creators had put out for the island.
But they like the organic content.
They like the organic
I think organic content is good content.
Exactly. But then it's like, what is organic? I see this funny ass TikTok though. Like to me, it's like when I see things where it's like that has been going on in my mind, and the fact that you also think that to put it into like a brilliant video, and I'm gonna probably have to insert this here. But just the other day I was working in Microsoft Word for something. I don't know if it was something for the podcast or for work. And like I keep trying to shift the table, and it's like the whole fucking document the shift, or even if you put a picture. So this girl make a TikTok.
I saw it, the frames, everything, just doom. She's like, when you move something on Word, and she moved the table, the frames went upside down.
I have to.
The chair fell. It was really good.
Oh my gosh!
Can you send it to?
I can send it to you right now.
It's a really good representation of exactly what
that's
is
just
happening.
a brilliant content.
Are you sending it to me on Instagram?
What do you want me to send it to you on? Any option? WhatsApp?
Doesn't matter. I mean, I guess.
Oh yeah, because we could download on Instagram now.
No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, download it from. It's on Instagram.
Oh, I just sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, it's fine. Actually,
But
yeah.
oh my god, like these are kind of things. But then everything on back to the day, like Vines, how that had blow up.
Yeah.
But it was just like I think back then it was the organic shit of just those random moments in your life, or just doing stupid shit that's hilarious. Even if it was Vines was 7 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like those things. But like even back to the
Sorry.
That's a Vine.
The kid, when he gets hit in the head with a ball, he goes, yeah! Or yaga. When they used to pull your hair, I hated that though.
Or do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it. Do it for the Vine. I ain't gonna do it. But then you have, what's that thing you had seen the other day with a guy with they tripping on him. We talk about it on Patreon. The guy that we caught his morning routine and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, with the ice, dipping his head in ice and stuff like that.
That kind of content just cringe me, but it's not him. Just in general, people showing their day.
But
you have to do
I
it
do
brilliantly. Like Stormzy one, the one where he blew up.
I do enjoy seeing some people's days, but in the organic way. So like they just taking you on. Oh my gosh, somebody made one for their cat, and that was brilliant.
But that's what I mean. I like that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so much content out there that there's multiple content that I do like or think as good. But that's why it's subjective heavy, because there's niches for content. Like some things I can't relate to that I know other people probably can relate to. There's so much content that I start getting from my book. And one of them, I was so happy to see that. So one of the characters in my book, the way they describe her, she reminds me of Edna from The Incredibles. But you know she's not Edna from The Incredibles. This book is about fairies and regalness and whatever. Other people thought the same. They literally had a video of a mascot, Edna, in a fair or something. And they was like, look, and then insert character name here. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone.
No.
So those type of content I do like. But I also like, I ain't gonna lie, like we used to, all of us, we used to watch like families on YouTube and whatnot.
Oh, they could see this?
I think. I move it so now I can't press play.
Wait, okay, move your mouse. We gonna guide you.
That is not gonna work.
But first you gotta allow something.
Yeah.
Okay, go down a little bit. Yeah, it gonna work. Go down.
No,
go down.
this is communication, guys.
Go down.
Little.
Okay, go down a bit of a lot. So double to what you doing. No, wait, go again.
No, stop there. And then go to the...
Your left.
Why?
We can't see. Go to your left.
Go to your... Yeah.
Or the
keep
left.
going.
Oh.
No. Keep going. You have to allow it. Go left.
Down.
Left. Dom, stop. Dom.
Click.
No. Up.
Go
Up.
up.
Click.
Stop. Click. Okay. And now click.
No, you gotta press
Press
play.
again. Okay.
Oh, wait.
But you ain't even get to see it. Or you get to see it.
The audio playing?
I ain't
It had played.
I had
We gonna
heritage.
figure this out in after.
Yeah.
But
It have like an audio, like with a voice. Or
I
something?
heard
yeah,
the...
it goes bloop, like ding.
Okay.
Like when you
the
drop
Windows-
a file
the-
from
the Windows sound.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that was genius content. But I was gonna say though, like I like if you naturally show me like come with me to the
Yeah.
But I just wonder like some people just really go up with the camera.
It's true, but that's content creation.
I guess, but that's not my kind of content. I guess, but and this is gonna sound really bad.
Say it with your chest, girl.
It's a testimony.
Say it with your chest.
Money. No, okay. Like what you just call them? Gym content?
Yeah, gym,
No, but
gym talk.
people that
Fitness
make
content.
fitness content.
Yeah.
Okay. I would follow you if you my friend. But I feel like
Yeah.
fitness content, I don't know if people just use that as when I follow fitness people,
Why you laughing?
when I follow fitness people, it's rare. There's
Yeah.
only like one girl I just follow, but I just literally only follow her for inspiration because I feel like that's how my body could look. You get what I mean?
100%.
But other than that, I just use fitness content as Google. Can I see an ab exercise?
Yeah.
Search. But then I just wonder, like, but fitness creators, like, they have loyal followers that just watch every video, and I just wonder, like, people just go and try every video you make then in the gym.
No, remember I say last episode is like 3% of people who gonna actually do the thing.
So
for the
then I just be
others-
like, so
But that's a lot though. But in content creation, that is literally like in the world of content, that is unfortunately what's happening. Where it's like you will have the skincare routine. Somebody will take you through all the videos of their body skincare, their face skincare, their scalp skincare. You will watch them all. You will follow this person. You'll be like, oh my God, I love their videos. You probably didn't do one thing.
no, but because I like skincare, I would maybe go and buy the product.
Yeah,
I don't-
100%.
I would do my own routine.
Yeah.
But there's specific products I might go and buy now
Yeah.
because you probably express what I
Yeah.
have done for you.
I think with the gym things is more so, maybe I want to change the exercise in my routine now because I've been doing the same one.
I feel like if you're a gym person, you just change your routine?
Yeah.
How often?
But I don't change a lot of my routine.
No.
I change variables in my routine and I
Yeah.
have fixed things in my routine.
Exactly.
But I feel like people who follow these people are new. So I don't think, like, if I was to start a gym TikTok, I don't think I would have people who gym avidly or intermediately or advanced. I would have more so beginners and in the middle of intermediate because they want to learn something. Because I noticed with like a lot of gym people, their stuff is very informative from like with form or what you should eat. I love those videos. Like I follow the people. There's this girl and she's a Caribbean protein meal page. And for me, I love that because you always seeing these, don't get me wrong, I love my cottage cheese pizzas, but you always seeing these cottage cheese in kind of white
I just saw a
protein
video about
packed.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so is I guess it depends on who you are. Because I do
That's
think
why I say, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you said that. I can't remember.
I don't know, but I do think with a gym influencer, it's like with a girl who's inspiration for you in your head, you're checking like, okay, how did she get here? Let me see what I could take
It's
from
not
it.
even what she does. But I think that's because like, I guess it's how you is in the gym too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I have a routine and if I want to switch it, then I might go and check, okay, what's other things I could do?
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I don't consider myself a beginner to say like, let me go follow this new routine. Da, 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 da. I guess it depends how you would need to use the gym content. But like, I
Like,
don't watch.
if you think about it, if you get an injury, you probably can't do the same workouts the same way anymore because you have to switch things up. And then, of course, you have a plateau.
Yeah.
Like, after you start doing things repetitively, they don't really show results anymore because your body has gotten used to it. So
Yeah.
you need to find a new...
But also a lot of these TikTokers give more in depth than just exercises. Like even with the reps and compound, what you call it? When you build up the weight, so you continuously add weight to whatever you're doing every week.
Progressive overload.
Progressive overload. Thank you. Like for me, at least in the beginning, because now I don't really follow people who's on gym talk, but that's because I'm in the gym and I know like what I could do for myself. But when I was, it was really to know meals, so how to get more protein. It was to understand muscle hypertrophy and like the do's and don'ts of strength training, because I feel like with strength training it gets deeper because like form is really important. And then to learn those like the 8-8-8 method, or you know, the different stuff like that, but also to catch certain trends. Like I feel like the step ups became a trend. So there's trending exercises. Hip thrust was there from the beginning, and RDLs. Those were trending when I was starting on TikTok, because everybody was like this, and then the cast glute bridges, blah 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 blah. For me, now I'm on the side of Pilates, but that's because I'm new in Pilates. Even though I do the reformer Pilates, I also do home. So that's like new waters for me. I just want to learn shit. But I think with the content side of it is like, that's why I say it's good content for somebody because of the niche. So that's probably good content for like beginners.
Yeah.
Because in their head is like, they don't have a routine, but they're going to follow 5 people and maybe take a couple of the
For sure. But for me, that was just that's why I was scared to say it. For me, I don't need gym content, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's the things that is like scroll past.
Not interested.
Yeah.
But that makes a lot of sense.
But if I need something, I go and search.
Exactly.
But it was definitely there in the beginning and for form. A lot of the times. But I also have a friend that does create content. So like genuinely, if I really need something, I just go to him.
Yeah. For me, I watch Odie and her content, but mainly because she's doing lovely stuff. So in my head is like, and I want to learn more about calisthenics. But that's the noob aspect. But like for you, other than gym content, what you feel is like, you know what content I can't stand? Those couples who prank each other so many times at this point, you know is a prank. But I hate it.
That's like YouTube.
No, that's on TikTok too.
Now they're short form and long form content. Because I've been the thing on YouTube and that used to always annoy me.
Yeah, but now I feel like if it was on YouTube, you get it maybe once every so often. I feel like on TikTok, I see the same couple, like they prank each other every week or whatever.
Those things, but also, sorry, the day in the life of a couple. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, I don't watch those. I wouldn't say I think it's bad content. I just don't watch them.
But those are things I scroll past.
I don't get them.
No? Yeah.
I've never seen the day in the life of a couple.
Yeah. Or a family. Like
I see that stuff mainly on YouTube.
There's family. There's like family TikTokers, and then they show like their days and the.
Back then I like it, like the Levines. I don't know if y'all ever watched them.
Yeah, I remember them. But also just like, and that's what I mean, because it's like, y'all's. So you woke up.
I was just about to say
put the camera. I'm back in bed.
Yeah. You kind of, what you call it, performing.
Yeah, and I guess my thing is I don't like performance.
But
TikTok,
I feel like not everything is, that bed thing is performing, but the rest is not. Because if you wake up and you have to put a camera for your bed, that moment you performing. But to go do your skincare, you're not performing. Stop it.
I mean, in that video or just a skincare video?
No, like in a day in the life. So if with a bed thing, that's something you have to redo. You slept, you wake up, you put a camera, you sleep, you wake up again. But the rest, that's actually a day. Because like you put up the camera in the kitchen and you cook. But it's not like
you're not
cook
performing. I get what you mean. Yeah. But I guess I'm just not interested in your day.
I hear it. I fully understand that. I think some days I'm interested.
But it depends on who and how. Like, I'm very intrigued in how you do it. Because there's some people that do it brilliantly. Or just even, like, I was intrigued by Stormy's day routine. Stormzy, my bad.
Oh.
Stormzy's day routine.
But it's Stormzy. He was catching flights to go to one show and then caught a flight. His day routine is chaotic and so exciting and you're always on edge.
But I guess it's because, like, I had known who he was, but I feel like it was like, oh, this is who you be.
Sometimes I think for me, it depends on what it is. Like you have those girls who just do vacation prep days and they walk you through all that they do, and high key, the hook for me sometimes just catch me. Where it's like, oh, okay, you doing all of this. And then maybe they do their lashes or something. I'm like, okay, what you like the curiosity is there. I never really see day in the lives like that. I see the creative one like the cat. I need to send y'all that video. It's the cutest thing ever. But I more so, what is your algorithm? Because my algorithm is mainly, if I had to think about it, Those deep content ones about like how you view the world and blah 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 blah.
That.
I have a lot of cat videos because my sister and I send each other a lot of book talk, so recommendations. I do have perfume talk too. Now I have makeup talk because I'm really looking into makeup.
Well, I have that and skincare a lot.
I feel informed.
Man, like video, like, but also my thing, and that's like, if I create content, is like like some bits and like creating a scene for it. I like those kind of TikToks.
Yeah.
And I think that's also my algorithm. So it's like, but that's also if I was to create content or when I start, that would be what I do.
Yeah.
So it's like a skit.
I would probably just show up and be like, yo, are you? This is me right here. Let's have a catch up on my cats. You know, like, I don't know, while I do my makeup or just probably some memes, probably trolling stuff in Ghana that I know I'm going to troll because I'm going out and I know that's going to be funny experiences. But like stuff that's just very me.
This is my timeline, guys.
I was going to say, let's look at the next 5 videos on TikTok. I want to see what would pop up for you.
Oh, Instagram think this smart.
We going to do this? Let's do it. A cat is the first video.
No,
Sorry
this
for
is
yelling
stupid.
at y'all. And then
Oh,
here.
I realized a lot of my TikTok videos is shit that like I just think on. I didn't know other people thinking on it.
Okay, yeah.
So like this one is like when you're in the middle of driving, you realize you ain't paying attention. You start wondering how you're still alive. I have that when I'm driving.
dead.
So it's like, especially like in certain parts of St. Martin where you just a straight road, so like French Quarter, and you're just driving. And then that's the thing with driving is you're driving automatically, but sometimes your mind just wander.
Yeah.
But you still are paying attention, but your mind not are paying attention to the roads per se.
You like
But
on
you in
autopilot.
deep thought. So it's like, oh, I'm actually driving right now.
I'm here.
So that's this video.
You used up your credits. That was your second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's
Sorry.
okay.
I ain't recording a while.
No, you know what it is? Patreon too. My third video is your brain is 2 times more strongly wired to avoid risk as it is to gain reward. And it's that doctor who was on Doc, Diary of a CEO.
Anyone else?
Fourth video, a cat.
Oof. I don't know if I should put this on or what. But this baby break out in a rash after using this company.
Oh no, and I heard good things about them.
What company?
You know Crept?
Yeah,
Captain
I was like, I
Conan?
don't want to put it in. I don't like to dog black companies. But
I mean, that the rash thing for me is that's probably one of like not so many cases. Nala's, we putting them out, but not because that rash thing is probably common. I think maybe they could have an allergic reaction to what's in the formula. Because that thing is so huge. Like the company, maybe some babies might get a rash.
yeah,
That
in
makes sense?
general.
Yeah, that doesn't make it a bad product. Like I see those things and I think, okay, they sell to millions of people.
I don't think it's a bad product.
No.
But I don't have that. This is a girl I know talking about her child with autism.
The one after that was a Caribbean girl.
Yeah, my feed is just literally like Dachshunds, dogs, and
vacations.
yeah, sausage dogs and black women.
I hear it.
That's-
Now a lot of hair does pop up on my feed. But mainly because like braids and all that stuff. When I started doing my own braids, I like Google that and I still interact with the videos that have braids. I don't know,
feel
it's therapeutic.
It's all over the place, my algorithm.
Song of the week.
Ooh. Speaking about British people, I think my own is Whistle by Steps.
That's a big tune. You know what's funny? I had one, but I thinking because Hetty One just dropped a song. It is what it is. And it's a good song. Wait, let me see if I want to put out one instead. Hold on. It's a good song.
I see.
Yep, it is what it is from Hetty
That
One for
one.
me.
You said Central C was here for his concert. He was running through Vondo Park. You see that?
Nope.
He was literally just running through Amsterdam on a jog before his concert with his.
He was on a jog.
He was on a jog in Amsterdam and he
Big
went
up,
through
Sanch.
Vondo Park.
Yeah, he said, I am a citizen. I am.
I started running. I
Oh
was like,
my
I would never be a
gosh.
running girl. But because Daniela
The 5K.
organized her thing, and I was like, the fact that I did this means
You
I
might
could
as well
do
keep
this.
doing it.
But my goal now is to not, because I stopped a couple times.
Yeah.
But now it's to like, my goal is to not stop for the 5K.
That's really cool.
So I've been going.
Do you think that you would actually do a 5K?
Yeah,
I think
would.
you could definitely do 5K.
But it's about your time, because now I know it.
I think you should document it
The
all.
first time we did it in like 40 minutes. But the second time I went there, I did it in 44.
How
So now
long
I'm
is
gonna
it? Well, if you was to run the whole 5K, how long would that be?
It depends
what's the
on your
average?
speed.
If you jog, so if you
So like, I
like,
put in the business out, but like Rahima does do it in like 30 minutes. Mando was there the last time, he did it in 20 something minutes. I think Daniela was 30 something. So like for me, now that's 44. But my problem is I walk to Zoida Park. I shouldn't have walked it from my house.
you already-
My feet was already kind of tired.
yeah.
So I was like, if I didn't walk, maybe I could have gone a little faster because my foot was burning. You
I
know when
hear
you
it.
walk too
Yep.
much in a shoe?
Yeah.
And I didn't wear the right socks. So I was like,
Okay.
next time I'm going to wear proper socks and not walk to the park. And I really time myself better.
Yo, we should start running, guys.
No.
No, but I
literally
You
sent a
was like,
message.
but she was also like, I could never be a running girl.
No.
me?
Where we was going? We was running to
This was recent?
yes, it was
Can't
with
be.
Ellie. We was running to the
No, running for transportation.
no,
No, but
I've
been wanting to start running. You can ask Odie because we were
Okay.
gonna plan to run together. But also big up Esmeralda. She ran past my house, and I was like, "That's a sign," because I saw it on her Instagram, and I was like, "This is by me." And she joins this running group, and I told her when I come back from Ghana, I go run with her.
I see a running group in Den Haag too. They just either go kite down to where the beach waves is be, or Zuida Park.
You know, it was funny for Christmas. They all had Christmas hats and lights on. It was so cute. It
that's
was
cute.
so cute.
You was
But
like,
yeah.
you wouldn't do it?
I literally sent her a message yesterday in a chat saying like, I have chosen the long distance bike life over running.
Yeah.
I don't
My
like
sister
running.
too. She do not F with running.
She walked.
Yeah, she said,
walking.
"You not
To
gonna
be
catch
honest,
me
all you
running."
need to do is walk for 40 minutes, and it does the job.
But for me, it's like, and that's also why it's with gym.
The mental.
It's the mental of knowing
100.
that I am going to do this.
But also the mental of fighting every instinct for you to stop because your body's so uncomfortable. That's why I want to read that book by Murakami where he says what I talk about when I talk about running, because he goes deeper into like,
Criticals had that in his book club recently.
but it's so interesting because running, you going against, is almost like stoicism where they say you tackle the hard thing in the beginning of the day, whatever. With running, you going against so much of like what your body is looking for in terms of comfort and making sure you're good, that you realize how strong you become from continuously fighting that. Like it actually
the
is
very
insane.
beginning is the hardest now. Like when my body realizing like, oh shit, this is what we doing.
Yeah.
But then once I in it, because like for example now, like that last time I ran, which was last week Saturday,
Yeah.
I was going to go tomorrow, but I'm going to go Sunday. Like the last 2 kilometers, I almost ran the whole thing. But it was like the first 2, I
Yeah.
was struggling.
Yeah.
But then it's like once your body in it, it is actually like adjust. And then once you have your pace. But he had a run recently
Oh,
where he
yeah.
talked about, that was the topic because of that book.
I
But
don't read it.
yeah,
But
what was I gonna
anyways,
say? But meaning to say, because I think both of us had say that we didn't like pop the balloon, and that's also content.
yeah.
There's certain content that I also just like with the gym content and stuff. I wouldn't say that's just not my niche or something I like, but I could understand the all that goes into it. But there's certain content that I don't get why it's there. And to me, that was pop the balloon.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like it's funny when you really watch it, and some of them is really
I
funny.
I watched some.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I know it's not that bad, but I think for me, it's also like the version of that before was the
Tinder.
they go up to women who come to them is like you the live swipe right and left,
Yeah.
or like 100 women
Sidemen had
against.
that. I love that. I mean,
I never watched those,
yeah.
but like
some of
when
them was
pop the
funny.
balloon, men or women literally just telling you in your face why they don't want to be with you, and that'll just be like, is that necessary?
But in today's society, you can get it one way or the other. But I understand what you mean because everybody's so direct. But I ain't gonna lie, I appreciate that. Just
In
from a place to tell me
person.
you don't like me.
But in person, I don't know if I need the world to see somebody in my
Yeah,
face.
no, 100%. Like y'all choosing to go on camera and do this.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
But it's like, why is that content we need? No.
I wouldn't say it's content we need. I would just say it's content because we just consuming everything. So they just fill in stuff with air like a balloon. But I think in general, I've watched it and I could understand why people watch it. I don't think it's healthy for a lot of people. I think you need a high self-esteem, because if I'm going on that show and a guy don't like me and he explain why he don't like me, I need to know in myself that I'm just not his peach.
What do you think this is content for 11, 12-year-olds to watch?
Of course not.
But
Because
that's what they're watching.
yeah, but 11, 12-year-olds also watching corn. You understand? It's just a case of like, there's so much content out there. No, but there's so much content out there that they shouldn't be watching.
That's not healthy either. But I also think like, she was like, what are you going to say? That was your
Oh, sorry. I always do that because I'm curious.
No. I would hope that some parents kind of regulating
Good
the
luck.
popcorn that your children watching.
Yeah, I mean, they got a phone.
But like, I also think this content that in general, that's social media, that not contributing to like them having a very good image of their self. Just a
100%.
good feeling about themselves, a healthy image of their self-image.
Yeah.
But it also was normal to just tell people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of my students was asking me to watch Pop the Balloon because it's the Dutch version.
The Dutch version is terrible.
Exactly.
No, but that is a whole different ball game from a place of like, they just need to burn it. Like, honestly, they just need to burn it. But I feel like you have that with a lot of content. Like, even with live TV shows. The Dutch Temptation Island is terrible. Like, it is toxic. But you always have those little bad apples that are worse than the apple itself. Because I ain't even saying the general apple is good. Because Pop the Balloon in itself is very shallow. But I could respect some of it.
I respect the part of Pop the Balloon that it is a black production and like led by a woman, and she got it that part.
A husband.
Sorry, husband. Her and her husband. But you know what I mean? The point is that it reached to a point where Netflix wanted to buy it. I think that's. I mean,
And I feel like
I never watched Pop the Balloon, but I definitely watch a lot of ABBA and Preach talking about Pop the Balloon. That's how I watch.
But now they're saying, because apparently the first episode aired now and it's very gentrified.
Oh, 100%.
I knew it.
No, but even in the trailer, there was a bunch of white people jumping in. I was like, oh, here we go.
But then that's what I mean, where it's like, yes, they buy it, but then nothing ever is safe for us. Unless they're going to really shift it now for the second episode, because thankfully it's live and it's not like they record it.
That's true.
But why
I
you want to
mean,
keep it for yourself if you're saying it's bad content?
I was just about to say,
What
you
you
don't
mean?
even want it for us.
Who?
Can you check Pop the Balloon?
No.
Exactly. So let them
But
take it, gentrify it.
if they're there for us, I don't want them to get it. Because then it's like,
But if we got a bad apple, like how you see it in a sense, you might as well give them the bad apple. If they take, like, I wouldn't, if I feel like we doing something that don't contribute to our society and white people take it, go through.
yeah, but the conversation is also like, okay, but now I guess they're going to have a white audience. So that's fine. But in the first episode, I don't think majority of the people watching was white. It was us. So it's like, it's going to come, I get what you're saying though. Like now we're going to become something that's for them and then that's fine. And then they're going to kind of leave our
But
community.
they ain't going to continue it on YouTube? So it's done, like it's done on YouTube?
I think they're doing both. I'm not sure though.
I
but
think if
so.
they're doing it on YouTube, they still gonna get the views. Because I watched Pop the Balloon, right? Funnily enough, for my birthday when I was binge watching stuff in the hotel. And I rate it. I don't rate all of it. Even the reunion, I find is they could get disrespectful. But I rate the levels at which people could respectfully reject somebody and how people could respectfully take rejection.
To be honest, Pop the Balloon has shown a lot of men in a positive light, I believe, more than negative. Because you get to, if anything, the attention is always on the women and how they respond and how ridiculous they come. If anything, sometimes I feel like it's painting the women ridiculous. Some of them, not all of them.
Big up that one, she had a wig. And they made the man look bad. I don't know if you ever saw that one. And he was like, yeah, I'm not really into women who something. And like, I could kind of see the bump of your braids. And she was like, oh. So then she didn't mind it. She went on to the other guy. And he was talking about like, I actually really love your hair. She was like, yeah, I could switch it up. She takes off her wig. And she's a bald, beautiful babe. She had like blonde, platinum.
So wait, the guy was wrong. So he didn't have no braid.
She was like, I don't know what he was talking about. But there was no braids. I was like, you tell him, queen. Like even another one. So another one had a woman tell a guy that she don't really like him because he's a bit too flashy. And like when she go out, she wants to feel safe and not like somebody gonna rob her. And he was like, I work hard to be where I am in life. And I'm a protector. So I know that if I'm wearing this stuff, it's because I have the capacity to protect. I'm not gonna be out here dimming my shine because, I was like, you tell
Wow.
him, King. So I feel like with Pop the Balloon, at least what I take from it is people could properly articulate the ways in which they're being rejected, whether it's from a shallow place or a respectful place. And it's a conversation. It's not a attack.
I feel like we could have the conversation without popping the balloon, but I get you. Like if we're gonna take something
I mean, the
from
show
it,
is Pop.
yeah, but I just don't. Yeah,
It's okay.
I just don't like the concept. I think there's the gems in between that. Cause I see some of the clips. There's the gems in between where it's like I like that we shining light on this, or we seeing like we calling out men sometimes or women for the stuff that they value in a partner, what they're looking for. I think that's the thing that you could take away from the Pop the Balloon. But there's that with a lot of content. But I just think like the idea behind it is not something I get behind. But as me, you know?
I hear it.
But
I think that's the beautiful thing, by the way.
What?
Just from a place of the world is so big that you always have niches or people who view things in a way that's like completely different than maybe what you see it or how you think it could be digested. And it makes sense. That's why it's like, if you say I don't with it, say that with your chest.
Yeah, I did.
Because it makes sense. Sorry.
Yeah, but how I feel with a lot of things. But I was going to say that like Netflix really been in their bag with the fact that they buy the license. But now I am intrigued. I think now that they buy the license, I do think they're gonna still have the YouTube version.
I don't think so.
I
That
saw
doesn't make
Insecure
sense.
actress.
Yvonne Orji, she can be the host. Well, she is the host. But
I hope they still have the YouTube version.
I
Like
don't
I don't
know- I
watch
don't know if
it
that makes
avidly,
sense.
but
Why-
I would tune in still.
why would they have the YouTube
Why would you
version
have the
if
YouTube
they
if you have Netflix
if
and
you
you're
have
using
the live
Netflix money
Netflix?
for the production? That don't make sense.
For me, it's more a case of like, okay, you sold it and now you not. Because I really like the girl.
They also
Let's
they-
bring in the next girl.
No, but she not hosting anymore, but they are the executive producers. She and her husband are still the
I think she
executive
want a break.
producers.
You know what I is to show up every weekend or month
But
or
that's
whatever.
also a bigger conversation because that was a conversation with Shea Butter,
Share moisture.
Shea Moisture, and Miel Organics.
And
So it's
Miel.
like if you make something though for your community, some people feel like yeah, but now I'm allowed to sell it to whoever, even if it's not to a black person.
I don't agree. Like, I feel like if you make something for your community, at least try to keep it within your
But it
community.
depends why you make it for. Because me, if I make something for my community, I don't think I could ever sell it to a white person. But some people, like in general, it was not only about being it for the community, but also for them it's about the money. So I
100%.
think if it's about the money, you wouldn't have a problem selling it to somebody that's not from your community.
True, but to give them grace, I don't even think it's only about the money. It's more so you don't have the capacity to serve your community to the demand that they want. And maybe if you sell it to this white person, you can. But I just feel like people don't stretch out their hand long enough for a black person to kind of come in. Or they don't look wide enough because white people are so easy to just drop a check. And I feel like if, say, a white person came to me and offered me $1 billion for a product I made for my community, but like a black person came and offered $1 million, and say $1 million for me was something that made sense to accommodate the demand, I would go for the $1 million. But a lot of people will go for the $1 billion because that doesn't only accommodate the demand for their community, but it's like my life now changes.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that would be the definition of my life changing. In a sense of like, if I have a purpose in a business, I would like to carry out that purpose regardless of how much is on the table. But I think a lot of these people, and we don't know, we're not in their shoes, but they get under that pressure of like, I can't deliver to my customers.
But I think but I think also some people is like, okay, I've done all I could do now though. I was having this conversation in this episode a lot with John on our way to the restaurant.
Yeah.
This specific conversation. But I think for some people it's like, okay, I've done now what I could do as CEO. I don't mind
That's true.
stepping down and being head of marketing or
That's true.
So I'm not sure with, or so like even with Pop the Balloon, maybe they're checking like, I've done all I could do now as the host.
I agree with them,
Maybe I
though.
could now do executive producing and sell it to Netflix. Maybe that was their thought process behind it. However, me, if I carry out something, like let's say for this podcast, if somebody was to be like, they want to buy it for their radio program, I genuinely like being like, this is ours.
100%.
So I wouldn't accept, you know?
I mean, Spotify, hit us up if anything.
Yeah, but I mean, I would still want to be in control.
100%.
Not that I sell the product off. You know what I mean?
We are the product.
So
Literally,
yeah.
that's the thing. You are the product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
no,
think
wait.
it's a matter, it becomes like a business case, I think. It's never so black and white. And I believe if it means that you could sell a company and still have the money to continue serving the community,
Yeah.
then that's also like a
But
question.
that's why with the hair products, it's different. When you sell a company, they change the formula to
100%.
accommodate them.
And that's
So
why I say I don't really invest that much in that kind of.
Exact. For me, if I have a business that say carries out my purpose and somebody's able to carry it out, let's say better, but I already created that foundation, that's a different story because my purpose has many avenues. So in my head is like, okay, cool. You could buy this company off of me, fulfill what I've already started fulfilling, but these are the boundaries set for you to do that. Like I would set terms of the purchase. And then I could go focus on like other stuff. But as if I feel like I did what
So
I
like
came
with Pop
to
the
do.
Balloon, why I was gonna ask, like why I
Yeah.
agree with is that it was something for us.
Yeah.
So as much as I don't stand behind it, it was seeing us and how like the things within our community. So now it's like they're not going to be the central point anymore.
I
And
have a would you
I feel
rather.
like that kind of gone.
Yeah, I hear it.
In
However, I really curious actually now that you mention it to see what kind of jokiness can come out. I don't think
the first episode is there. Apparently there was a white woman rapping. Like
What?
this
They performing for them?
like just
No,
go
man.
watch it. I ain't watch it yet, but the comments that I see,
Yeah.
the little things they call out, and
Yeah.
everybody was just like, sorry, they want to support Yvonne, but we gone, and they logged out.
Oof.
And they stopped watching the episode. So that's why to me is like the one thing, it was like, yes, it was for us, but I'm very intrigued to see if they're going to take this commentary
Yeah.
and use
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
for the next second episode
Because
because
that's-
it's live.
that too.
Oh, yeah.
It's
She
a
said it's
live. It's not like
live.
pre-recorded. So next week, when the next episode drop, I hope they take this into consideration, like all the commentary.
Baba, would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather be on Pop the Balloon or Temptation Island?
Pop the balloon.
Yeah, I hear it.
I don't even. So, you?
Or Pop the Balloon. I have to go to a whole island for time.
But
the balloon is just.
and that was so. Netflix now, I don't know, I guess they get a license for Temptation Island. They
I don't know what
on there
Netflix
in their
doing.
bag.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me watch this episode, this series, because I never watch any other versions. And
It's insane.
but just the fact if you don't know what's Temptation Island,
I don't.
Basically, you
Me either,
so
actually.
4 couples go on to Temptation Island. The women stay. It's a test to see if your partner will be tempted.
Absolutely not my
So
content.
the women stay in a house with a group of other men, and they're allowed to explore if they're gonna be tempted, form a new relationships
Yeah.
or whatever, or maybe they might just end up being your friend because you really just want to be in a relationship. And the men also do the same in another house where they are also a new group set of women.
Yeah.
And you also get to see if you're tempted. Every couple of days, the host just bring the women to a bonfire and show them clips, but production sneaky. They just
Crazy.
show like 30
messy.
the messy parts, or just even like 10 seconds of a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
And then also for the guys. And yeah. So the one on Netflix now, I'm sorry, there's going to be a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. There's this one couple, and I find it, this is this other white couple. One of the guys that was the one had to try to get them to tempt.
Yeah.
He tell the other guy, you wild for bringing your woman on this show. Like,
Because she fire.
fire or what, like, yeah. So I was like, ooh, but just the bluntness of it all, he was just like, you wild for bringing your woman on this show. I would never. But then there's this black couple on it.
Yeah.
And his biggest issue is he don't find his girlfriend is as sexual as him.
Yeah.
Because she's a church girl and she just don't feel like, and his thing is he like threesomes. And that's his thing. That's his script for the whole show.
Ish.
And because he was like in his previous relationships, like he would always end up cheating and doing threesomes because his partners wouldn't want to do it. And now that
So
he with
he's
her,
had threesomes. He just wants more.
had threesomes,
Okay.
and he feel like because he's so sexual, it's something that he like desires. And so the fact that his girlfriend is not into it and stuff like that.
Do polygamy.
But then to me, it's like, but they both in the church. So he meet her in the church.
What?
So that I love this girl. She was from Atlanta. I think her name is Angel. She was also one of the tempters. So they went on a date, and he given her a massage, and she started asking him questions. So she was like, you calling yourself a Christian man, but you like threesomes? And he was like,
Make it make sense.
yeah, but like this, everybody have their own way how they walk in their faith
Yeah.
and da 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 da. And then after she was like, so the biggest spoiler of this is that he gets tempted and had a threesome with 2 girls
Oh God,
in the house.
that's not surprising.
And but then the next day he went on a date with any of the girls on the threesome. He went on a girl with this other girl, Angel. And Angel was like, when is the last time you had a threesome? He was like, oh, it's been a minute. Meanwhile, he had one last night.
Yeah.
In the
She was like 1,322
but she didn't know because
minutes.
everybody know the threesome happened. We know because we are watching it on TV. But he didn't tell everybody in the house that he had a threesome. So, and then after he was like, she was like, okay, but you don't feel like your girlfriend giving you what you need? He was like, no, we have good sex and stuff like that. She was like, so why you like? She calling him off for his book.
As she should. She asking the right question.
And then it's like, then you really realize you're a hypocrite. And then in the confessional, he was just like, I think she's gonna forgive me. Like, but just the delusion of, not even the delusion. And that's when I was like, it was the fact that he know
Yeah.
she going to forgive him. And then she see the clip by the bonfire, and this girl in bust a tear. This girl was just like, I need to hear why he do it, and da 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 da. And after,
Is it a clip where he went into a bathroom? Like one girl was in the bath. I saw that on TikTok, and then he went to the.
there was in a bathroom, and his girlfriend see the clip now at the bonfire.
Yeah.
And it's like she still want to hear his explanation and reason as to why it
Explain
happened. And she was like, and then in the next episode, they was allowed to send out 30-second video explaining something, anything. And she was like, at least he take accountability for it. Like, I feel like he know his girlfriend is one of those girls that like go accept his stupidness. And she did. I ain't reached the end yet to know what happened.
Yeah.
But just her reaction in itself was given like she not bothered.
Because she probably used to it, I guess.
But apparently
Or
he
it's
never
all fake.
Kristen's
think
like,
so?
guys, they're fooling you.
Do you think
could
it's
be.
all
I mean,
That's-
reality TV be doing its
reality
thing,
TV
but
be
I don't
doing its
know.
thing,
It
indeed.
could be real though.
It could be real.
Nah,
because
I feel like how this man talking, it was like he went, and that was her response. She was like, yeah, but he would never do this if he was in the real world. So then the
Yo,
other
this
girl
is-
was like, but we here, and he do it here.
Yeah.
but she has a point.
Yeah,
But
but
like
my thing is he done open that Pandora box. He will be checking like, okay, cool, she forgave me on the show. Maybe I'll get away again.
What's the reason that people even go on TV shows to begin with?
Retardation.
No, I think it's like literally some people, like, you know, like reality TV is made for Leos.
Oh, I love you, Kristen. Continue. I'm listening.
And that's with all the love in the world to Leos, right? Y'all deserve to be on a TV show. So like, on TV, everyone deserves to see you shine.
To be on it, I thought you meant to watch it. I was like, okay.
Well, that too. But like to be on it, it's built.
Yeah,
It's
'cause they
built
have
for
big
people.
personalities.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't know if you get paid or whatnot, but
Yeah.
on top of that, you will continue to be paid
And
because now
Geminis.
you have like some fame status,
Facts.
which means that now people can give you stuff. You become a brand ambassador, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. If that mean like, hey, I'll take you doing you know how many couples probably behind the scenes agree to their partner having a threesome and don't get paid?
This girl though, she's giving good, like serious church girl. Like,
But I think being on the show in general is just there's even science that says if you around people for a certain amount of time, the chemicals that y'all exude or whatever builds connection. So for me, it's like I'm not gonna put myself in a place to test my relationship by being around other men that like based on my chemicals will inevitably
My chemical
result.
romance.
but also what you just said, yes, she right in the sense of like if it was a real world, it wouldn't have happened. But you come on the show,
And he
so
did
you know he was going to be in a position where it could happen. So it was like,
But on top of that, he embarrassed you to the real world.
but that was her thing. Oh my God, that was also her response. She was just like, I don't want the world to see that this is who he is, and da 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 da.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed watching my TV, but you know what's the thing? Like, I remember being that delusional
But
in love that like you love this person so much, and then there's another girl that you could tell us that's how she was, but actually
She
coming
learned
on
from
this
it.
show, like she wake up.
Yeah.
She was literally having the conversation with herself where she was like, I can't believe that I accepted this stupidness. Because then she see a video of him cheating, and then his confessional was like, I hope Natalie like knows that I want to spend the rest of my life with her.
What the hell?
And she was watching it like, this is the stupidness I was really like taking in for the past 3 years.
That's insane.
But I had love that she wake up. Because this other girl now with the tree something, I don't think she wake up yet. But it was just the fact. And I was just like, I hope and that would never be now. But I would never, and I don't like to dog women. But I was just like, I would hope that no woman ever feel like that delusional. I would just hope like no man ever think that like they could get away with those things
too late
easily. Like house, but then, and that's what I mean with dog women. I would hope like no woman stupid enough.
Too late, not calling them stupid, but you're just blind. You have on rose-colored glasses. A lot of us women, especially for me, I used to think of some men as projects. You think, oh, they could be better. So if they mess up, that's okay. That's part of the project. That's the trial and error. You know, I'm going to stick with him and eventually he'll do better. But men show you who they are the first time.
And maybe just the whole concept of everybody saying that men ain't ish, then you're more likely to accept it because you assume that all men
you think that's the market. You think that's common.
You will adapt. That's how a lot of relationships, that's how 100%. Most relationships probably worked.
That's not the case. It's not the case.
But it's made me think of another thing because you see the video of the Usher concerts.
With the cherries?
Yeah, but also this girl, apparently, well, this woman, her husband leave her because she had this moment with Usher in the UK.
Yeah.
What happened?
They didn't kiss. It wasn't even a cherry moment. There's a video now with him and a woman, like they having this intense moment, just looking at each other, and he asking her, what you want me to do? And she's like, whatever you want to do. And they just having this moment of talking and looking at each other, and he right here and she right there. And And then after, like, apparently now her husband leave her.
Bye. I mean, it's Usher, but at the same time, if we really look at it, devil's advocate or whatever, I don't feel comfortable with my man feeling so comfortable. It don't matter who it is. It could be Rihanna. It could be Beyonce. Respect me. Like, I won't leave you probably. You in the moment, enjoy it. But at the same time, that's just another human who makes really good music and is talented. But it is another human. So for you to easily engage in that, I probably would be a bit iffy. Because I'm like, I know it's Rihanna now, but what if Kimberly comes to you in the club and kind of gives you googly eyes? So I wouldn't say, okay, I'm going to be so drastic to be like, oh my God, we're done. But I do understand people's apprehensions of that. I actually do.
I understand it. I don't think I would have it, but for Usher.
I think I hear you.
Specifically for Usher, because like that was literally one of my first crushes.
I understand.
And it's like the first album I ever physically get was Confessions. I got a feeling
I hear you.
Like that was my first physical album, walking around the house with a Walkman.
Yeah.
Or CD player. So like, I don't know.
Like if you had a husband and you go to an Usher concert.
But Haiti the person, I can't do that. Like I can't.
I'm confused.
What?
Wait, so you would do it?
Like because who Usher is to me, I wouldn't be bothered. But I'm not gonna be married to a woman to have that situation. But let's say my husband,
I mean, you are the person.
Yeah, but I mean, like if my husband or partner have a person like that to them, I don't think I would be bothered.
Okay.
But who I am as a person, I cannot sit there and lick and suck cherries.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't be in that situation.
So what if Tiana Taylor give your man a lap dance?
Tiana Taylor is amazing. You can go through and do it.
You should come through.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, to each their own, high key. Like I hear it, but I could never.
Yeah, but also it depends on. I don't know. Like the AC Power was talking about this. It's like an EA Sport. Who the hell is that?
That's the producer.
Yeah. So he bring up the topic of like, what's the difference of strip clubs? So like, let's say your mom want to go to the strip club.
That's the difference. I gonna probably be with you, and we gonna be getting twerked on together.
But what if you did at the concert with him and Tiana and going to...
But I want them to lap dance too.
Okay.
But I probably won't be going to strip clubs with my man. Like maybe we'll go and watch and like admire, because I do enjoy admiring both women and men. But I think when it comes to that case of you having intimate eye contact and licking cherries, or you having intimate eye contact while she grinds on you, that's a different story because, it just don't, that ain't my steez. It's the best way I could put it.
On Patreon, I told you guys it is
I was
nice.
about to say, because this ain't Patreon, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
It's not.
That, we got to give them a little taste.
But you got to taste because we talk about this.
It's a cherry, guys. Lick it.
But we talk about how like it is nice. So like I wouldn't be bothered. But yeah, I was like curious how
That was
far
your
you
confession?
finished. Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
that thing. But I guess that's temptation in a moment. If that's the person you always had admire, would you indulge? I so shy that I would not.
You would probably indulge.
No, are you? I feel like
You would just laugh a lot while you indulge. You be like, cherry.
yeah, but I feel like if I shy, you never like the camera and the whole Zico doing watching me. I am
Honestly,
not going to have that moment with Usher.
I would always say
having
that
that
I was super shy, but not when that moment showed up with me and Diplo. That was my celebrity crush. When
The
he came to
adrenaline
St. Martin.
catches you.
No, there was a particular person. I'll tell all you later who the person is. I say, come up with me, because like they were asking who know the dance, and that was back then when Major Lazer literally like no.
Oh.
Anyway, so we going up and my friends say, he can come with me. So I come into the side. I was like, yeah, we going. When I reach up to the side of the stage, he stayed behind on the side of the stage and he waved at me, and we just had Jaeger bombs. And then Diplo takes my purse, he puts it on the DJ booth, he says, you know the dance? And I'm like, I just go non-verbal. I turn around. I say, I ain't turning around from here. So I get on my hands and my feet get up on the DJ booth, and it caught in 1080p on it.
You go, girl.
2013. I said that was like one time, never again. But at least like, if I'm already there, I'm not going to say no to Diplo.
I
I
understand.
get that, but I'm too shy for that, guys.
But maybe in the moment, you so in the moment.
No.
Bye.
I'd be shy if like a man look at me too long.
I hear it
Imagine
though.
Usher. Like, is it my fantasy? But I know myself enough to be like, next person.
Yeah.
Next person.
Take off.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. J. Cole though. But that's the thing. J. Cole's so respectful. Like they have the
It
video
wouldn't
with
be
him.
like that vibe.
Because Thames performed at the last G-Real Festival. And like there's somebody make a compilation of him just boopsing all the women. Like he just never hug women.
But he respectful.
Yeah, so I know if he call me on stage just to rap, and I do
Exactly.
that.
I
But
heard her.
not to lick cherries.
Yeah, that's more seductive. I heard her. I heard her
yeah.
completely.
But yeah.
But anyways, I hope you not lick the button, but click the button to subscribe, like, comment. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Sometimes when we ask all you think, we really want to know your answer. So what's turcos? Is turco?
Turcos.
What's turcos? Let us know what you think about all the topics we talk about while you're watching even. And somebody put a timestamp for certain parts of the episode in the last one. If all you think like a part of the episode is interesting or cool,
Let us know.
stamp it in the comments.
Respect to the law. That to the law. That's another thing on Netflix do. What her name was? Onasia. The woman who was like, give me my land.
Oh yeah, the Dubai princess.
She back in New York now.
Oh my God.
And Netflix used her to like advertise a boxing match. And she was like, respect to the law. To the law.
Why is it look like Netflix scrambling?
But wait, she returned, right?
She back in New York.
Oh my goodness.
She's in New York.
Oh my goodness.
And they use her to advertise a boxing match. And she started the video with
Wow.
respect to the law. And like, I don't know, but it's the fact that like Netflix just out here they ate everybody.
You know what?
by-
Yeah, because they're afraid of YouTube now.
No, they afraid of Apple,
YouTube.
Disney,
I know.
HBO,
Raw to
Showtime,
the
all of
raw, hot
YouTube.
to the hot, and subscribe.
them. That part.
Facts.
I
Drop
think
the
that's
mic,
a
drop the
great
mic.
way.
Yeah, bye guys.